You have to pay the bill. Hello, everybody. Just wanted to give that cool intro because that was my favorite quote from this past episode. Sorry I took so long to get this review out there. It's just been a crazy week with work and school and whatnot. So I'm here to give my review of season 5, episode 9 of The Walking Dead, titled "What Happened and What's Going On." As you can see, I'm wearing my Governor leather jacket, same shirt I wore from costume. I have the watch, but it's underneath here, and obviously the patch. I will be wearing this for my review, and as well as my predictions for next week's, well, tomorrow's episode. But hey, what can you do? I'll have my review and predictions posted for tomorrow's episode and the next one on Tuesday, most likely because I am off Monday and Tuesday. So that's my personal life. Time to get right into it. Okay, so this week, spoiler alert, anybody who has not seen the episode, get out. I mean, I imagine most people have seen the episode by now, just because, it's been several days. But, so, shocking death, because we just lost Beth, and, sorry, something's popped on my computer. We just lost Beth, and then now Tyrese. What a stupid way for him to die, too. I mean, when you think back to the episode in season 4, I think it was season 4, episode 4. No, it was episode 3. Episode 3 of season 4 when he got surrounded by the herd and he survived. And that's like spitballing about 20-ish zombies in that area. More, because that was a sea of walkers, but in the immediate vicinity it was between 20 and 50, at least somewhere in that range. But and then to get taken down by a little kid zombie in a moment of just staring at pictures. I mean, that was just number one. That was just stupid death. I loved what came out of it, though, that we got to see this return again. Philip Blake, aka Brian Harriet, aka the Governor. So we got some cool stuff out of that, and I'll talk about those in a minute. I'll say the hallucinations towards the end because I have a lot to say on those. That was very well done. Okay, the community of Shirewelt, which is I'll go into my top 5 moments after. But many people think that is Wilshire Estates from the comics. It is not. I've done my research. Not everybody does, but I found an interview with Robert Kirkman. I don't have a link to it, otherwise I'd put it in the description, but where he was asked about if you guys recall, back in season 2 when Andrea and Shane went to the place, the little community where they looked for Sophia, the one that Jimmy pointed out to them. That was actually Wilshire Estates. So I don't know. Most people don't know that. People just assume this community is Wiltshire just because it's Shirewelt. I mean, I don't know why they call it Shirewelt, just to throw people off, but Kirkman said that community back in season 2 was Wilshire Estates. So, just saying, but this community, looks nice, but was obviously attacked by a bad, sadistic group of people, as we found out in Talking Dead. So, no longer safe. According to Michonne, it was safe. That's a debate among the characters in this episode. Getting to see a little bit more from Noah. He seems to be... I'm not blaming him for the deaths of Beth and Tyrese, but a lot of people do. He's just been unfortunate bad luck for the group. He's not bad luck, but it's Anyway, he's not bad luck, but he just happens to do these things and somehow get people killed that he can't foresee. He's not. Tyrese didn't die because of him. Tyrese basically killed himself. He went into that room. He did not clear the room. He knew there was a zombie behind the door. Granted, that's not the one that bit him, but he knew there was a zombie behind the door. He didn't clear the room. He got hung up on the photographs, and he had, you know, he was lost in a daze. I blame, exhaustion, whatever. No one wanted to go to that house, I'm not blaming him. Right? He wanted to see his family. Period. Tyrese would have done the same thing if he was in that situation. Okay, moving on from that, not much there. Wolves. Okay, wolves not far was graffiti that was written on somewhere in the town, the community. And later on, the walkers have W's in their carved on their foreheads. Their legs and arms were cut off, and it was just the upper torsos and the head. So obviously, that group that came in did that. So what are the wolves? I know in the promo for next week's episode there are dogs. So, but I don't know if that's the whole story behind it and everything. What else happened? The zombies with the W's. Glenn and Rick discussing Dawn. That was big. Okay, that was when they're by a garage and looking for stuff, and Sean takes the jersey. Sometimes it's a Yankee jersey. The no name obviously. But Rick saying that he knew that Dawn did not mean to kill Beth, but he wanted to kill her anyway. And then them talking about, oh, did it matter that he killed her? Glenn later retorts in the later scene that it didn't matter if it was him, Rick did it, Daryl did it, or Glenn did it. It really didn't matter, just that it happened. Glenn's retracting from where he was back in the beginning of Season 5, where he's like, we're still good people. And then when they let the guy out, it was crazy. Now Glenn's saying, I will not do that anymore. I am not that person anymore. That's why he breaks the CD in half in the beginning of the episode, which I missed in the first viewing. I had to rewatch it. Okay, the opening montage, that brings me to that. Trickery in the opening sequence, I just have that. It's not really trickery, but just a quick note to myself. Very Tarantino-esque. Anybody is familiar with Quentin Tarantino movies, especially Pulp Fiction, he tends to shoot movies out of sequence. And the episode wasn't shot out of sequence, but the opening scene doesn't make sense until you see the whole episode. The funeral, you think is Beth. It makes sense that it's Beth, but it's not. It's Tyrese's. You see the blood dripping out of the house. What does that mean? You see Lizzie and Mika. Why are they there? They're dead. What's the point of that? That whole opening sequence was just meant to throw us off. The only giveaway is not actually a giveaway, because you have to see the whole episode to see it, is in the scene when Noah's crying, he does not have that. He has that nick on the forehead, somewhere on his forehead. I don't know if it's right or left side, but and when you see him in the van, he does not have that cut that he gets from the barbed wire or whatever. So that was interesting. Okay, now talking about my favorite part of the episode. The bill has to be paid. You have to earn your keep. You told me you'd do everything you took to earn your keep. Remember that? I love that. And then now when Lizzie and Mika like, it's better now, and he's like, it's not better now. You know damn well why. And he morphs into the zombie. That was my favorite scene in the whole episode. Just getting to see David Morrissey back, and that they hit it so well using a soundstage, and that they brought all those characters back and they didn't just reuse old lines. I thought that was cool. That they were actually talking to him. These are all people who he's dealt with at some point. Martin comes back saying, maybe if you stabbed me, put a bullet in my head, Bob would still be alive. And then Bob comes back with an excellent retort, because this is what everybody should be thinking at this point. Bob comes back and says, "Man, that's just bullshit. I got bit at the food bank. It went the way it had to, the way it was always going to." Paraphrasing, that's not 100% accurate to what he said, but you know, that's true. Bob still got bit at the food bank. Even if he killed Martin, he still would have gotten bit at the food bank, and he still would have died the exact same way that he died. Anyway, the termites didn't, the hunters didn't kill him. They wanted to keep him alive. So that whole thing was very good, and I was like, maybe the bill would have been paid, and then the governor, bill has to be paid. I love it. My favorite part at the end, when Tyrese is giving his rebuttal to the governor, and he's like, "People like me, we can live. I know what happened and what's going on." And his line that he's already said, he said to Martin, "Ain't nobody gonna die today." And then the governor walks and like the room darkens, and you see like almost like a PowerPoint, like different slides, flashing different images, like the smiley face and whatnot. And then he says, you know, what I said in the opening of this video, you have to pay the bill. But as he says that, he pushes Tyrese down. I love that. I thought that was awesome. All the hallucination sequences and Beth back. I love the song. Beautiful cover of Jimmy Cliff's "Struggling Man." Okay, so I think that's all. Now I'll give you my top 5 as I wrap this video. Okay, number 5 was Shirewell, that the community as a whole getting to see what Noah's home was about. I mean, I would like to have seen them pick up right where they left off after Beth, instead of 17 weeks after that. Just me. Excuse me. Number 4 was Glenn and Rick discussing Dawn, and a stem from that as well, when Michonne and them are arguing. Michonne's like, "We can stay here," and Rick says, "No, we can't. You know, surrounded by woods, there's no sight lines, people will be on top of us, and we wouldn't even know it." So that whole thing was cool. Number 3, zombies with the W's on them. What does that mean? That's obviously that group of people that attacked Shirewell, so I'm looking forward to that. 2, whatever the wolves are, if they're actual wolves, which I don't think they are, but there are dogs in the upcoming episode, so stay tuned to that. And number 1, the characters returning from the dead, especially the governor. One of my personal favorite characters. I'll do not character spotlight, but my top 10 favorite characters. I have to adjust it according to current characters, new characters coming in, and whatnot, but my top 5 is still the same from what it was in season 3. It hasn't changed. And yes, the governor is in my top 5. I'll tell you where in my top 5 in that video. Okay, my kill of the week. I have to honor Tyrese with this one. I just can't. You know, he went out, fighting. They couldn't save him. Didn't have enough. They took too long to get to him. Noah took too long to find the group, and plus then he got caught by zombies. So, walkers, excuse me. My kill of the week is Tyrese with the geode, the rock he picked up, and he just like bashed his head in. But the beauty of that scene is he put his bitten arm, let the zombie bite it again, just in case he was able to be saved, grabbed the rock and just went to town. That was cool. Okay, so that'll do it for this review. In terms of a score, I liked the episode. The only detracting factor from it was Tyrese's death and how they killed him. I think he had a little bit more development left, so I'm going to give it a 9. I can't give it any higher than that just because of that. But still a solid episode. Different episode from what we've seen, and I like a lot of it. a lot about it. So I hope you guys enjoy. I will be posting this video now, as well as my predictions for next week's episode entitled Them. Remember, guys, when you go out, have to pay the bill.